Okay, I think I'm live, but it doesn't look to be streaming. There's probably a delay. Well, good morning, everyone, regardless. Hopefully, there we go. All right. Okay, we're definitely live. Apologies. This is actually my first time using the native YouTube Go Live Studio feature on the YouTube channel. Normally, I go live to Facebook and then I just post it to YouTube later. Facebook has been giving me problems lately. They wanted to restrict my account for a very silly reason. And they told me, okay, you got 30 days, you can't go live. So whatever, that's fine. There are plenty of other platforms to utilize. So if you're here this morning, go ahead and just drop in the chat. Let me know you're here. Let me know that you can hear me. Everything's fine. I saw we had a few people in the waiting room. Apologies for being late. And yeah, if you're here, just let me know. So today, I wanted to go just over something really, really simple and really vital to your success in terms of investing in the world of decentralized finance. And that is simply how to not get wrecked by operating in Squirrel Brain. And I wonder if I can share my screen here. Can I do this? You don't have access to this feature. Can I do it here? Interesting. All right, I'm gonna have to figure this out later, how I can share my screen with you, because I wanted to share a few things, but whatever. Point is, Squirrel Brain and getting wrecked in crypto. I wanted to just kind of give you an example from my own life and talk a little bit about why choosing your investments slowly and strategically will get you farther faster than making more moves. Okay. So typically in the world of crypto investing, there's a lot of like day trading and a lot of hype and a lot of FOMO. And I've experienced it too. Like you'll buy into a project and then 3 days later you'll sell because either you made a little bit of money or you think like, oh no, it's going to tank. Like, let me get out quickly. Like the fear, uncertainty, doubt sets in, all that good kind of stuff. But if you are invested in projects, number one, that you understand and you know why you value them, then it makes sense to stay in those long term. Now, there's a couple of practical reasons why. I'll go over those, but there's also more of like psychological and emotional reasons why. Let's start with practically. Practically speaking, it's more a matter of when you transact too many times, you will inevitably run into transaction fees and transaction taxes. Most contracts have, and some of them aren't that much, but most contracts, smart contracts, will have a tax associated with them. Some tokens will be very large, right? Like 10% or even 12% or something like that. Meaning, if I buy $1,000 worth of the thing, I'm only going to end up with $900 worth of the thing because there's a tax that then goes into a different section that is then used for maybe it's reflections, maybe it's a payout, maybe it's just providing extra liquidity, maybe it's token emission, whatever it might be. There's those factors that come into play. So early on, when I was kind of just playing around with yield farming, and I was trying to figure out like, well, where does this go? How does this work? I was swapping back and forth all kinds of different stuff, thinking, and part of this was I was chasing APR a little bit too, which that's a whole other topic. But part of it was I was just chasing APR. I was experimenting around because I was new to this space. And I was like, well, I'll try this and I'll try this and I'll try that and I'll try that. And I was thinking, oh, I'm going to be so savvy. I'm being smart by like allocating this here. And then when I think it's done, I'll allocate it over here and then here. But what ended up happening was I thought I was gaining all this yield. But after I had done that for a couple months, I realized that the total value of that wallet that I had been experimenting with had actually diminished over the course of 2 months. And I reverse engineered it and realized that, oh, if I had just gone to this one farm and put it there and left it there, I actually would have been better off. So the practical reason behind, hey, fewer moves is better is simply that you will end up making more money. Assuming, of course, that you're actually like taking a close look at the projects that you're investing in. You're not just aping in when everyone else is. You're like taking your time, you're going slow, you're doing your research, all that good stuff. I'm saying that's sort of like the backbone of all of it. Now, on the flip side, though, is the more like emotional and psychological reason. So what happens is if you are constantly operating from this state of like, oh, I wonder if I'm missing out. Oh, I better switch over here. I wonder if, oh, over here. Oh, I wonder if I'm at, then not only will you end up making less money, but now you're operating in this more like frenetic emotional state all the time. And the curious thing about investing is that even if you're only making a couple of moves for like a couple minutes each day, because it's occupying mind share so often, it will actually start to affect you emotionally for the long haul, meaning that you'll start to make other decisions in your life too from that same frenetic state. So the cool thing and the not so cool thing about investing is the fact that the emotional considerations affect you not just in the world of investing, they affect you everywhere else as well. So the journey is not only being responsible, making money, saving over time, whatever, like the practical stuff. The journey is also realizing that you can't get out of this without being challenged emotionally and psychologically. And if you're up for that challenge, you can grow, and it's really a very like satisfying and I think healthy experience. Whereas if you constantly play the game of squirrel brain, which is, well, maybe I'll do this one, and 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 you're constantly shifting your money everywhere, then you'll end up getting wrecked. Okay. So in the patient investor group, we have a couple of resources for you. Number one, if you're new here, go ahead and just take a look at the initial top 5 mistakes that I made in crypto when I first got started. If you're brand new, I should say, if you're brand new, like that's a great place to start. It'll give you a feel for like what we're all about here, kind of the approach I'm taking. It's definitely more of like a long-term kind of mindset and kind of an approach rather than the typical crypto, like to the moon, 100x in 30 days, like this kind of stuff. That stuff's out there. It exists. I acknowledge it. I dabble in it on occasion, but I don't believe that it's where a majority of my investment dollars can and should go. Okay. Again, not financial advice. You can do whatever you want. We're all responsible adults. We choose where we put our money. No one else gets to make that choice for you. Okay. So there's that. There's top 5 mistakes. And then last Saturday, we had a workshop, and that workshop I did it for free the one time. I'm never going to do it for free again, but I'm still going to make the replay available for a little bit longer. I don't know, maybe till the end of the month. I don't know. I haven't decided yet completely. But if you want that replay, you can either comment below here. Let me know that you want it. You can jump into the Facebook group, make a post there. I put my Twitter handle in the description here, so you can follow me on Twitter. You can comment. You can message there. I'm readily available is what I'm saying if you want access to some of these resources that are available to you. Okay. And then beyond that, yes, there is also a mastermind. It is a private group. It is a paid private group. And if you want to take a look at some of those options, you can message me as well. But the takeaway for today, just remember that operating with squirrel brain, trying to do too many things at once, not only practically speaking gets you wrecked because you make less money, but also on a psychological and emotional level, it messes with you, and it has the potential to put you in an operational state where you're not making clear-headed decisions. So in this group, we're all about making slow, steady, clear-headed decisions. Everyone here is here because we favor a long-term timeline when it comes to investing. So this is not like a get rich in the next 6 months kind of an approach. It's more like over the course of the next 10 to 12 years, get as much money as you need to do all the things that you really want to do in your life. That might be retiring early. It might be giving yourself a paycheck. It might be accumulating enough FU money to do whatever you want in life. Whatever it might be, the point is we're on a slow and steady time horizon here, okay? So if and when, I should say when you find yourself operating in squirrel brain and you feel tempted to dismantle your liquidity pools that you just set up, when you feel tempted to unstake those tokens that have been yielding you rewards consistently for the last few months, when you feel tempted to do that, pull back, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, like, you have to do some real like soul searching here. You have to ask yourself, like, am I doing this because it's actually objectively a better move for my investment portfolio? Or am I doing this just because maybe I'm bored, I'm tired, I had a glass of wine, a little looser? Like, you have to really evaluate why you're making moves in this market, okay? And ultimately, one of the top 5 mistakes was the Lone Ranger approach. Like, ultimately, check in with your community. And whether you're in the paid private mastermind or not, like, check in with the community here in the patient investor Facebook group and like ask people, you might not get the counsel or guidance that you think you're going to get. It's more of like a self accountability to just be like, hey, I'm thinking about making this move. I'm not looking for anyone to like tell me what to do with my money. But I'm just checking in with myself here. Okay, that's really more of what it's about. It's not post a question in the group because you want the input of 50 random people that you've never met. It's more like hold yourself accountable to a higher standard so that you don't end up making moves that you normally would not have made if you had a circle of people around you who were supporting you and had the same long-term time preference and value system that you do. Okay, so that's all for today. I'm going to figure out YouTube Go Live Studio, I guess, and I'm going to figure out how I can next time how I can share my screen so that I can do my little drawings on my tablet, which I always really like doing. But in the meantime, that's all for today. I'll see you guys later.